Hello and good afternoon, my YouTube family. Thank you again for joining me on the channel. This is Darren with New and Old Survival. We're going to continue our emergency preparedness video series, and this is going to be part 2 of cooking. Just a few ideas that I've seen in the past and that I have used. This doesn't include all of the ways that you can cook. Man has been cooking for millennia. So if there's a will, there's a way. However, there's a few things that you can do to make it easier. Today is September 12th, and we are about T-minus 48 hours before Hurricane Florence makes landfall. And we're anticipating, at first they said about 15 inches of rain here in Southwest Virginia. I hope that has changed. I appreciate the prayers and support for all of those that are in the path of the hurricane. We'd just love to see it turn back out to sea, but unfortunately it doesn't appear that it's going to happen. So anyway, let's get on with our cooking series. Okay, I brought the camera down. I'm not going to be in frame, but that's okay. You've seen me enough. I've got this veg-all can sitting up here, and I was just experimenting just to make sure it was going to work. This is the stove that we made in the last video, and the video took about 15 minutes to make, and we actually fired it up and almost brought to a rolling boil 2 cups of water, but I was only using 2 cups of water with a ½ ounce of fuel. This can be made more efficient, but on the fly that's not bad. So there's a couple of things that you can get, and this is from Walmart, the UST folding stove. And this one does come with 8 fuel tabs, and primarily I don't use them as fuel tabs. I may use them, I break them up and use them as fire starters, especially if I'm burning wood or wood pellets. So wood pellets is not something I'm going to be showing today, but that's an option as well. But this is going to run you somewhere between $4 and $6 at Walmart, and it will include this stand, which folds flat. So if you're not wanting to take up a whole lot of room in your pantry cabinet, put it in an old used backpack that you can pick up at Goodwill or Salvation Army, a yard sale. Like I said, we're trying to keep this on the cheap, so you can pack other things in here as well. Almost can put our stove in there, but no. This can be used as a wood stove, okay? So all you would do is build a small fire in here, and if you have a large enough pot, I could run and go get one real quick. Voila, the magic of editing. So I believe this is about a 9-inch biscuit pan is what I call it. Now, so you've got your fire, or you have your little alcohol stove in here. I'm just simulating something with a bigger diameter. So that'll sit on there perfectly. But if you notice, that will not. The problem that most people, and you'll see it on my last video, is you almost have to warm the bottom of the pot before you can set that directly down onto the stove. But once it is warm, it will sit there and then flames will come out the side. You'll have to refer back to my previous video. However, they do, and you can almost hear it click. I hope that was audible. It will support that's 1 pound 13 ounces, almost 2 pounds, which is equivalent to about a quart of water. And a quart of water will weigh about 2 pounds, so you can go that route. Now, there are other options. Get this folded and put away. Another option is this IMUSA. This is I done scraped the tag off the bottom. This also came from Walmart, and this is a utensil drainer. It's made of stainless steel, and we can use that again outside somewhere like on a patio block or something to build a fire down in here. And if you had a large pan, no problem. It's got enough oxygen to get in and heat will rise, therefore cooking your food. If you have a small pan, then you can use a couple of tent stakes. Do not get the little flimsy aluminum that you can bend real easy. These are made of steel as well, And so you can build your fire. Let's put them in here. Use the top row. And I've noticed that if you kind of put these to the side, you don't have to, but they'll sort of lock in place. And then that will fit down inside. And it'll also keep the heat inside. And if it was sitting up here, for instance, I've got two more. If it was sitting up here, then the wind could get in here and carry the heat away in that little bitty air gap. Let's see if I can show you there. So see that gap? So if it was sitting up here or even down this far, that there's a wind gap there. However, we're going to go for a different route. This is a DIY, and I've used it. And this is nothing more than some heavy gauge wire. And I have a electrical butt connector on that. But you can use bread ties, anything. And you can see the shape that I've been in. And it's adjustable. So if I've got a big wide pan, and here's our little stove that we made. I can slide my stove in there, set this up here, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, no problem. If it's a small diameter, then all we have to do is just close it up. Of course, the stove is going to sit on top of these little legs, but again, no problem. That's a little wobbly. I could flip it over. That's going to be more stable. Yeah. So it'll sit there. And again, that's just heavy gauge wire, bent into a shape like that. I appreciate you watching this video. A lot of times in days past, many days past, often wondered how did my great-grandparents or great-great or great-great-great-great, whatever, they didn't have Walmart to run to when the storms came in. They didn't have a CVS on every corner. So that got me to thinking, and that's what kind of drove me in the path of what's now coined survival. But back then, they called it everyday living. So a lot of it was pure luck, a lot of it was ingenuity, and a lot of it was just being prepared for what life may throw at them. So once again, we'll continue our emergency preparedness series. Let me know what you think I should cover next, and I'll try to address it. Thanks for watching.